Hello, IGN. My name is Jose Otero. I'm here with Daniel Orihuela of Nintendo's Treehouse, and he's here to talk about Puzzle and Dragons and Puzzle and Dragons Z and Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition. Thank you for joining us, Danny. So, show us something cool. What's up? What do you have?
Cool. Yeah, so here we are showing off the game with you. Thanks for having me, by the way, as well. I guess to start off before we even get to either game, is that you do get both games on a single package for one price, so it's really nice. You get these two really complete games, and you have them accessible from the very beginning as soon as you turn the system on. But for now, as you said, we're probably going to jump into Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition. This is one of the longest title names I've had to learn, but it's been fun that way.
Absolutely. And this was made by Gung Ho, developed by Gung Ho in collaboration with it.
Correct. In collaboration with Gung Ho over in Japan. They worked on it. So this is like the intro of the game where you get to play with Mario, Luigi, all these other characters, and in a fun way put together teams and actually use these special magical orbs that are based on different elements to get into the game and experience different components.
Okay.
So we'll kind of go into that first basic part so people actually understand what the basic gameplay is. I'm going to jump into a couple different worlds.
Okay.
A lot of stuff will start making sense as people start seeing all these menu screens we're jumping to and jumping around in as well to get a better idea of what's going on. Actually, I'm going to jump.
These floating orbs all around on the world map. Sorry, just to point out for folks, these are the original orbs from Puzzle and Dragons, right?
Correct, from Puzzle and Dragons and from Puzzle and Dragons Z when we get to that game also. But for the Nintendo version, when you go into the game, the orbs will actually be based on Nintendo IP, similar to like you'll see the poison mushroom, the fire flower, things like the penguin suit will be in, and those will be different orbs you'll be able to get a chance to experience as you go through that. I'm kind of just hopping through worlds right now to give people a little essence of what this game feels like when you jump in. It does feel a lot like a Mario game. You actually are starting off right outside the castle. Princess Peach has been captured by Bowser, and Toad's like, Mario and Luigi, we need your help. But instead of running through levels like you would in a normal Mario game, you're going to be using the power of orbs. So I'm going to jump into one of the very first levels of the game on purpose. Let me quickly put together a team. And again, you choose your team based on different attributes they have based on different elements. I'm on purpose choosing things based on fire, in this case. Fire and water, which is blue. Fire is red. Wood is green. That's what I'm kind of basing my team on like this. You do get to use... And the cool thing here is you're using Bowser's baddies, so you get to actually control the enemies that you're used to going against in the game.
You have Luigi as a leader.
Luigi's the leader, and I'll get into some more of those details later on. I'm going to choose, let's go with, who do I need on my team? So you can see my overall team combination up there, scoring-wise. But I'm actually going to choose Fire Mario in this case.
As a helper.
As a helper.
Okay.
And I'll probably go into a little more detail of what all these components are. I kind of get the core gameplay, the basic gameplay of the way, and then I'll go into more details of leaders versus allies versus helpers, which get into more complicated stuff in the game. But basically the way this game works is that essentially you have all these different colored teammates you have here. You can see, as you said, green, blue, green, red. And the way you make these allies or your teammates attack is by creating chains with the orbs. So in this case, I'm going to grab this orb right here, this fire orb, and move it up 1.
Okay.
And by doing so, I completed 4 in a row. It can be 3 or more. And it can be in L's or lines or T's. But it made my red characters attack.
Okay.
We are going further back in the game, so my characters are pretty powerful. So I'm going to be kind of breezing through
this. But the trick to Puzzle and Dragons is this was something you showed me, which I did not know, is it's not just as simple as just match one row.
It is not.
Yeah, so you will take, for example, you're going to grab, what orb do you want to start with? You
so
have the sight. you know what to pull for.
So one thing to look at, too, is when you do hold the stylus down, you notice that little blue meter appears on the bottom left side of the lower touchscreen.
Yeah.
That basically is about a 5-second timer. And instead of just simply moving the orb, as you said, like one spot over, you can drag it all over the screen.
Okay.
So in this area, I'm going to kind of start doing a little bit of...
And what you'll notice is he's sort of arranging combos, and then the rest are kind of happening as it falls, which that's luck. Let's give it to that. But that was the thing that kind of caught me off guard. I was just like, wow, so you are actually kind of using this one orb to arrange as many different orbs into other positions in a certain amount of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what most people think they do is that a lot of times they'll simply take an orb and drag it to where they want it to be. Like, let's say I want to have, so in this case, I'm going to say, I want this red orb to go over to here. And they'll just do that. And I got some extra combos out of it, which is great. And I probably... I did kill these guys. As again, I'm really powerful. But that's the first step people need to learn is understand you can actually drag the orb anywhere you want. But you're just talking about the sight thing, that aspect of looking a little deeper, is not simply just taking it from point A to point B, but considering the path it would take. So for instance, instead of simply grabbing this red firefly right here and dragging it like one over or wherever I want to on the screen, I can move this blue orb that's next to it and move it over to then create combinations.
Got it. And you can move it also up to therefore get the green leaf down. Like you're trying to look for opportunities like that where the move would essentially pull one down or one up.
Correct. So I'm actually I'm going to grab this blue orb and go all the way across the screen.
Okay.
And make some other combos happen. So I'm going to go all across the screen, get the green line up there, back up, down this way, back over here, and now I have the L.
This is where I start shaking my head because that's cool. I don't see that, but you can as long as you keep playing.
And it's a bit more of practice than that. So yeah, it's usually good to first watch people usually most people just, as I said, drag that orb point A to point B, and whatever else happens, like, oh cool, extra combos.
Yeah, and these are all based on elemental properties. So fire beats wood or whatnot, or
correct.
Grass
Fire strong gets, which you can see in the upper corner of the screen on the upper screen right there. It does show that little screen up there that so you can always remember what's strong against what. Mm-hmm. I'm going to jump to another level now. It's a little bit further, so I'm not just easily breezing through this. But each world is themed, and as you are trying to save Princess Peach, I'm just going to go to the end of this level right here so you can see it. You can just kind of walk along. There's castles. This all just looks familiar to people. And at the end of each stage, you will fight one of the Koopalings.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool in that regard. So I'm going to jump out here over to World 3.
Okay.
This is Morton's world. So kind of walking through it. Now, the cool thing to mention here is that if you notice while I'm walking through, there's information that's being shown in the lower part of the screen.
Yep.
Right now it says normal course, and you can see that all the orbs right there, just next to World 3-1 above the word warp, it shows you all the orbs you have available to you. Down below, what items you can earn, and then what enemies you'll be able to attack or encounter as you go through that. Go to the next one. Now it's a 3-color course. I no longer have red or purple orbs, so that's fire and dark.
Yes.
So when I'm building my team that I choose to go, and I'm going to enter in this stage, when I'm choosing my team to go in here, I have to take that into account. So right now I have the flame chomp up there. He has fire, but he's not really going to have much value.
That's right.
Because there's no fire orbs in the game. So I'm going to go back over here and decide which allies I want to switch to. So I'm going through my ally listing right here.
You've got quite a list of allies.
Quite a list of allies here in this one. We can kind of go through a little bit. And where do I want to grab? So I'm going to bring in my hammer bro. See, and then up the top you can quickly see an evaluation of your team stats. So I know that, as I said, there's no fire and no dark, which is the fire flower and the poison mushroom. So on purpose, keeping everything balanced. I'm like, oh great, my stats are pretty high in there. Now the thing to mention here is you do notice that Luigi has what's called a leader skill.
Yes.
His tail aura. Basically, anyone who has green, which you see the Paragoomba right there at level 21, he has green and yellow. But the fact that he has green as his primary, he will get this bonus, as will Luigi.
Okay.
So it's a passive skill that basically helps everyone on my team.
Got it. And each ally is leveling as you play. You are sort of building them up for folks as well. That is the RPG aspect of Puzzle & Dragons that you need to also keep into account. But that comes a little later.
Yes, they do level up as we go through.
Yeah.
So here now I can choose another. Now I can choose a helper. Now since Luigi's in the lead, Mario is still an option as a helper, so he can be used as a helper. As can Toad. And there is even Yoshi, which we'll show a little bit. We'll show a little bit as well.
Okay.
We'll show that also in a second.
There's also Street Pass.
Yes, so there is a Street Pass option here. So there are Street Pass helpers in this one. So when you go to the Street Pass helpers, what's cool here is that when you do Street Pass with someone, they can choose which one they want to share. Now the Street Pass helper you get to use one time. So once you use that person one time, he's gone from your inventory forever, unless you Street Pass that person again.
Okay.
What's cool, though, about that concept is that basically, let's say I Street Pass with you once, you have a really awesome Fire Mario, great, but you might keep playing with that Fire Mario, and I'll log in again next time, and next time I Street Pass with you again next time, and now I'll get a more powerful Fire Mario.
Got it.
Now, the other option you have to do is you actually can trade directly over Wi-Fi also. I could trade over Wi-Fi with you, and I could permanently keep your helper, and I'd be able to use him like once every hour.
Okay.
But he would never level up.
Okay.
That's the trade-off I take on that.
Yeah.
It's the trade-off I get by not.
So if it's someone you're street passing with every day who's playing the game, you definitely want to not do sort of a Wi-Fi trade because you wouldn't get the improved version of that character. You can rely on them coming in every day. That's really cool.
Yes, exactly. So here I'm going to see who I want to use. I don't have a lot. Let's see. I'm going to bring in my Ice Mario. And you can see quickly up top there, they do have each of the leaders or helpers has a skill and what's called a leader skill. We talk about what leader skills are, which is that passive one.
If they're in the leader slot.
If they're in the leader slot, or the helper slot. So even though Mario has a leader skill, and when he's in the helper slot, his skill will automatically do that.
So his leader skill will still activate.
Correct.
Cool.
Similar to the difference, if I chose Toad, he has a specific helper skill. Same thing again, passive help as you go through that. So I'll again go back to my Ice Mario. Do I want Ice Mario? Yes, I'll go with Ice Mario. And then you get a quick evaluation of what your team looks like and how you want to decide how you want to go through this.
And we're in. So the leader will always be either Mario or Luigi?
Correct.
Well, you
That's
won't see
the
another
idea. You always have
character
Mario
there.
and Luigi going in the game as you go through this, so you always have that character to look at as well.
Okay.
Now, one trick to mention here, though, is so you get Mario and Luigi in here, you get the whole team going on, focus on what you've got available. There is this glowing orb in the bottom.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's called a super orb in this version. In Puzzle & Dragon Z, it's called a Z orb. Just so you know, that it's only available in the 3DS versions of the game. So people who are familiar with the cell phone version of Puzzle & Dragon, this is not part of it. You never have what's called a super orb.
Got it.
When you put a super orb into one of your chains, it basically makes that attack more powerful. By a lot more damage. So in this case, I'm going to see what I want to do. So just trying to decide. Now what's cool though, as I'm getting combos, if you do get up to 12 combos, you can get an extra life in the game, which is really cool because if you do die while progressing through a level, by having that extra life, what you'll get a chance to do is, if you do die, you can choose to use the extra life, and you'll continue right back where you're at without any with all your characters back to health and all the damage you've given so far.
Oh, got it. Okay. If you choose to continue, you don't have to.
If you choose to continue.
Got it. And that's a pretty big combo. What's your biggest combo so far?
My record so far in this version is 19 is my highest combo I've ever gotten so far on this one.
Ever talked to the Gung Ho guys about their combo?
I've seen them get like 20 or 30. Like these guys who they play so much of the game, and that whole thing about sight you were talking about, seeing what's going on in the game, is one of those fun, challenging things.
So what's happening here?
Yes, so you do get to sometimes decide which way to go. So looking at the map button right here, you can choose which direction you want to go into. So in this case here, there's the purple warp pipe or the blue path. So basically, whichever orbs you clear more of is the path you'll take. Now, as you noticed, when we went into this level, there were no purple orbs.
That's right.
So this kind of makes you think about how would I have gotten into this one with purple orbs. What you should have had to have done, though, is consider what characters you want to bring in here, because you also have these things called skills. I don't have them accessed yet because they're based on turns. You have to complete a certain number of turns to activate that skill.
Okay.
Now, sometimes you can have a character that has a skill that turns orbs from one color to another. So that's how you would have to be able to plan to make that alternate path option.
Yeah, but then that does set up sort of the stress of, hey, I have to do this in a certain number of turns before I get to this point in the level.
Yes.
And when accidental combos can happen left and right, that makes it very challenging.
And at the same time, you're sacrificing a slot on your team to possibly, I might need to actually carry a purple or a dark element character on my team, which means I'm now giving up a slot on my team who can't attack.
Yeah, you're not getting damage numbers based on that enemy, the color until you activate that orb.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm exiting out again because I want to actually jump to a further level in the game. So we're going to jump out of that world and jump into a harder area. Let's jump into World 5.
Okay.
So I could die here again. This is a much more challenging area as you get further in the game.
Oh, man, is that PD Piranha?
It is PD Piranha. I know you're a big fan of PD Piranha. You asked him last time we talked about him as well.
Clearly you have done your homework.
You're always asking about him every time we talk about this game.
This is a lie. But more importantly, he's grayed out. What's happening here?
Yes, he's grayed out. So essentially here, when you see enemies like over here grayed out, it basically means you've encountered them, but you've never captured them on your team. And what that means is when you defeat enemies, there's a random chance they'll turn to like a little Christmas present kind of box, like a little present box. And when you finish the level or leave the level before it ends, you'll get that ally to join your team.
Okay.
That's how you get new characters on your team.
So we're going to jump in and try and get a PD Piranha. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm going to try.
These are bold promises, Daniel.
They are bold. That's the way you got to play the game. You got to go big.
So team composition really matters. You've told me this time and time again, and we're going to go into a little deeper commentary on how to better take advantage of that. But for right now, what are you going for?
Right, so that's a good point to bring up. So yeah, so things I look for. So I'm going to go back here to this screen here. So the course detail, this is a normal course, meaning that all the orbs are available. You might see like 3-color course or 4-color course, and certain orbs would not be available.
So this is a 5-color course, but what's that? That's not an orb at the end.
It's not an orb.
What is that?
That's a recovery heart.
Okay.
And when you line up hearts into a chain, that gives you health back.
Okay.
So, and the other thing you look at down here too is what enemies are found. So I notice that most of the enemies in this level are wood-based, so that probably benefits me to consider bringing in a more powerful fire-based team if I can do that.
Okay, and speaking of teams, I see you adjusting one of them here, but hang on, there's a 2 here. So
yes.
you have presets.
You can have presets
for
in
your
here.
teams. So if you want the all-wood team or the all-fire team, although would you go one color?
Sometimes, yeah, if you want to be bold. I've seen people do, like if there's only 3 colors in there and you want to go crazy, I've done it before and gotten away with it if I want to use certain skills. Usually I kind of mix it up, and some people use the presets. I tend to literally every stage reevaluate my team. I'm always
Says
changing
a
up on
lot
purpose.
about your personality, Daniel.
Yes.
I will say, absolutely says so much. Although I'm the same way, so it probably says something about us both. So who are you going to go for the leader slot? You are going.
I'm going with Luigi. Luigi tends to give you a more powerful attack, and and I also look at his level too. So I'm actually going to sort these guys by level instead of attack, so I can actually bring in my more powerful. I should have brought him in here. So I'm going to bring my Spiny in there.
Okay. And he's fire-based because he's red. The colors all match to the orb. We talked about that.
Yep, bringing in my Bullet Bill and Goomba combo in there as well. And I'm going to bring...
Bullet Bill and Goomba?
Yes.
He's riding a Bullet Bill.
So we're sort of evaluating things like here. So right now I'm going between these two characters. Spiny tends to give me lower HP but a higher attack.
Okay.
But Flutter and Flame Chomp gives me a higher HP but less attack, but more recovery.
Yeah. And since this is an all-orb course, you're trying to cover your bases and have every element represented.
That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm actually going to go... Now, one thing I looked at here, if you look at this, Spiny is at 25, and he's capped at level 25. But Flutter and Shame Chomp has a cap of 99. And he's only level 21.
Okay.
So he has a higher cap. So I actually want to level him up a bit. So I'm actually going to, on purpose, choose to bring in my Flutter and Flame Chomp character instead. And that gives me most of everything covered. The only thing I don't have here is too much dark. But I'm going to take that chance.
Okay.
Because my Bullet Bill Goomba combo has it a bit. Then I'm going to enter in and choose my helper.
Okay. So who's it going to be?
There is a Yoshi, which I could consider using this time.
Level 18? Okay.
Level 18, but he has a lot of health, but not as much in the attack. So let's say I brought in Fire Mario. He's got 1,000. So these are just me trying to evaluate who best to bring in. They both are really high. Who to go with? The next are even looking at their skill, their leader skill or helper skill. So he raised the attack of all my fire members by 1.5. Yoshi, on the other hand, raises your team's attack by 3 after attacking with fire, wood, and light.
I like that. I like the sound of that one.
But you have to make sure you attack with wood, fire, and light in a turn.
In a 5-color arena.
So
that
yeah,
could be risky.
But it does triple the power of the attack. So which one do you want to go with? I'll let you pick. You want to go with Fire Mario or Red Yoshi?
I think you just sold me on Fire Mario.
Eh.
Let's do it.
So we have Fire Mario in here. So this you can see your overall team stats of how powerful you are. We're really powerful, you can see, in fire, decent in wood, decent in light, really weak on dark. That's our one weakest point, but let's take a chance on that.
Yeah, Ice was also like sub 500.
Yeah,
which
we'll live.
We'll live. Okay, he says we'll live. So if you die...
oh, gosh, now the pressure's on again.
No pressure. No pressure at all. So we see here this innocent Wiggler is about to fall prey to Daniel's team. So you are here organizing. Let's see what you got.
Well, let me do it. I'm trying to do diagonal movement.
Okay.
I got lucky a little bit.
And you mentioned to me diagonal movement can be tricky. It's one of the sort of the finer things to kind of
Right. You can move an orb diagonally, but you have to be pretty precise to pull it off. So that's the one trade-off to how well you want to do that. So let's see what else I can...
Okay. And drops.
Yep, got some drops in there. I'll take it.
So what's your highest combo you've gotten?
Highest combo in this game, 19 is my highest combo ever.
Okay, and I take it you've talked to the Gung Ho guys. Have they told you their combo?
Oh, their combo numbers are just astronomically high. They are really, really good at this game.
Okay. We're talking 30s, 40s?
Yeah, 30s, 40s. They can pull off combos that I could not even dare to imagine. But they can do it.
All right, that's looking good. So you've seen my combos. My combos, there's a lot of room for improvement. But there you go, attacking with fire, which again, Wiggler is sort of super weak too.
So I'm trying to figure out how best to get these pieces together. So I wish we had done a little more than that. A little fire in there. Getting down there.
Yep. Whittling away.
Wiggler tends to be just as overall is a more powerful enemy you will encounter in the game. So you do have to kind of go through him and to figure out how best to defeat him.
Okay.
Oops. Right there, I even got a little Tetris action there because I got a heart combo and had some blue orbs drop down to match with another.
Yep.
Close.
Oh, so close.
So close. I'm getting there this time. This time I got it better this time. So a little action there.
So on the sort of the screen before where it says which enemies you'll encounter in the stage, those are all the enemies you will encounter? Like, is that guaranteed or is it by random chance?
It's not guaranteed.
So you may not even see a PD Piranha, is what you're saying.
Well, he's the boss. I know he's he's the boss of this stage. So often he will appear, but sometimes when you're fighting through these games, sometimes the combination of monsters that appear will change. So it's not always exactly the same.
Okay.
which is
And
nice.
overall, you have a rough not an exact estimate, but a rough number of how many monsters or how many?
In this one, there's roughly over 80 different Nintendo type creatures you'll be able to encounter in the game as you play through it. So yeah,
Got
there's a
it.
good number of them, transformations and all those things, which we'll get into later on.
Okay.
Let's see how far I can get in this game. That's always hard to think.
Who are you gonna pull?
That's not what I want to do at all.
Oh no! What was that?
It was not a good one. Not a good one. Not a good one. I'll live. I'll find a way out of that.
Okay.
A little
I
better.
see a plan coming together here.
I got a little lucky in there.
Okay.
Now I got some fire in back in, which is good because these guys are mainly weak against fire, but I haven't gotten enough fire to use. But now I
And
got to
you can prioritize who you want to attack, right? Like,
Yes.
You don't have to pick.
Oh
just
wow, that took a
one.
lot of damage. But you can use the L and R button specifically target who you want to go after,
Okay.
which is good. Now I need to get a really big fire combo if I'm going to survive this. So let's see what I can do. Yes. That's what I want to do.
I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. Oh, what?
Nothing.
All the build-up and you got
Yeah,
one?
yeah. I kind of messed up there. I'll live. No, maybe not. We'll
Oh,
see.
but you got a skill. A skill is available. So I'm.
I have two skills.
2 skills are ready to
So
go.
change wood orbs into water orbs. That would probably be better to use. Give me some health back too.
That's a lot of
A
water.
lot of water.
Okay.
And then light change dark orbs into light orbs. Do I have any dark orbs? There are some, so I will do that too.
So these skills, once they're used, the
counter resets, so they went back to
Resets.
10 and 9.
okay.
But I also have some other skills coming up right off the bat in just a moment, so hopefully this will be enough damage to survive and see what we can...
Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Or not.
That was it? What? I thought I got more
What?
on that. I didn't plan that as well as I thought I had.
Will you get some health back?
A little bit, but I think I'm going to be taking... Oh, he's Piranha Drain, so he absorbs wood damage, and he took me out, which is fine.
Okay.
I have an extra life, so I will use one of my extra lives. And the cool thing, as I said, you get 1-ups by completing...
Combos of 12?
Combos of 12, or
Okay.
getting a lucky question mark block in the Toad House.
Okay.
So let's see what I can do this time to get... So I need to get some fire in there. Oh, what's Luigi's skill? Fire Smash. That would have been helpful to have used last turn.
Oh no.
Nullifies all damage for 1 turn. So there's 2 turns away, so there's no point in using it on this turn, because they're not going to attack me yet.
Okay.
But... There we go. That's a little better.
Okay. And a drop. Okay, you've
One's
got rid
out.
of one.
One's out.
Nice, nice.
Another
And
one
you've
there.
got 2 skills ready to go.
Correct. But I don't want to...
You want to save them for the boss?
A little bit, yeah.
That
Oh, I
becomes
guess
a
the
part
green
of Puzzle and Dragons as well, right? Just kind of, sort of, once you achieve a skill, maybe not burning it right away.
Correct. That means you do
Yeah.
want to hold on because you had to wait all those turns to get it back, to get it up to you, and then you want to save it for when it's ready to be used. Because you can use all your skills, it doesn't count as a turn, which is really nice. But once you do use a skill, so you can. I've on purpose like unleashed all my skills on a single boss before, which is awesome.
Did it survive? Like no, like
The
in
boss
some
did not
cases.
survive that one. No, I was able to
Okay.
take him out completely,
Got it,
which is
got it.
great. Now I have a lot of fire. Oh, I probably should have used. No, I have full health though. So now I should get a nice strong fire attack out of this one if I plan this right. It's all about this planning phase.
Yep. Even the best intentioned teams can fall apart. Is
Yes,
basically what you're teaching
yes.
me here.
Which I've done before in the past. There we
Man,
go.
you have got the sight for this, I must say. Like I have yet to reach this point. But the more I see it, the more I'm starting to go,
You start seeing the patterns you get as you spend more and more time playing the
Yep.
game. Then
Yeah, sort of swapping orbs. There we go.
you always want to be swapping different orbs, different ways of getting it.
Okay, he's close. You've almost got
He's
it.
very close to dying finally. So, oops, wrong one. That's the way I wanted to go. There we go. I wanted some health. Whoops, didn't get any health. Not enough.
Oh, he's gonna turn. Oof.
They do a lot of damage. This again, we're in a harder world at this point. We're in World 5, so
Yeah.
things are a bit harder in this one. Hopefully this will be enough.
All right, let's see.
Close.
Oh,
One more
man.
turn. One more turn.
Okay.
So I do want to get some recovery out of this though at the same time. So let's see.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I should have moved over. Should have shifted.
He's out.
Yes, he's out.
Done. Why? Okay, so I see you got XP, which obviously is, you know, for leveling your team, but coins.
Coins, up until you get through World 3, coins essentially you're just gathering them as you go, but then you gather items as you play through the game. Sometimes you'll get like Goomba coins, cheap coins, green star coins. These different items are used for transformations or for what's called skill up, which can actually lower the number of turns it takes to use a skill.
Got it.
And so those coins can be used to, instead of acquiring them by defeating enemies, you can also acquire them by going into the Toad House and actually hitting this random question mark block for 100 coins each.
Okay.
And you get a chance to see if you luckily get the items you need to do those certain things you want to accomplish.
Okay. So you've got 3 enemies here that Piranha's going to attack in 1 turn. You've got Goombas in 2.
That's true. I'll probably use some of my skills.
Yeah, pull some skills.
I'm going to on this one. Yeah, I'm going to right now.
Yeah.
So let's see. Winged Ring Shell. So Big Tantrum. Oh, wow, I have a license to attack. Increase my fire team. So let's get some health back real quick.
Okay.
No, that actually didn't give me much anything else there. Rampage. I don't want to use that. I like my fire orbs.
Okay.
So Big Tantrum. Doubles the attack of your fire team for 1 turn. So there's enough fire out there. There's enough fire. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So I do... Oh, okay. I have an idea here. This should work. Yes. I only got 3. I was hoping for a good drop.
Yeah. Same.
But you saw that Fire Mario went up to 5,000 damage.
Okay.
Because everything I did doubled.
Okay.
So these are where the skills start. You have to really evaluate what skills you think are best to bring into a stage. Because if you don't, you will just die.
Yeah. No, definitely. Oh, he's got to be out.
No, you might.
No,
No,
he's still
going to
going.
survive, and he's going to try to almost chomp me down.
All right.
You get used to all these things of almost dying. It happens.
Living on the edge in Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Brothers Edition.
It makes it easier.
Okay, let's see what you got. Okay, I saw that.
A little drop there. Hopefully it's enough to take him. I got more. I have 1 more turn left though. It's fine.
Okay.
But I'm going to use this one now to use
that super orb.
Yep. Make that big L-shaped.
And he's done.
How many phases are left to get to the
All right.
boss? That was in the so much to go through. Lots of Goombas.
There's a lot of phases. How many more?
It varies from stage to stage.
Okay.
Some of them are longer, some are shorter. You never know until you start playing through it.
All right, so you've got.
But I need fire.
I like
they
how
do
these
so
guys
much
just
damage. They just run up and just hit you.
No.
So I'm going to again use one of my lives because
Okay.
I want to take down the Goombas.
Burn those skills. It's time.
We'll have to make sure. Oh, so I do have fire. Oh, that's good. So I'm going to actually bring up the strength of my fire team for 1 turn.
Okay. And this is 1.5 times damage.
Correct.
Okay.
So
And you've got some fire orbs to work with.
oops. That's what I was trying to go for. 11,000.
Ooh.
So you can see, guys. So
Done.
So the skills are very important.
There you
so I'm
have
gonna
it.
Get at.
All right.
And let's see where. So I wanted to try to get to show you PD Piranha at the end.
Okay,
Of this.
who is 1 turn away.
Well, here's a cool thing to show. So you see, there's the green choice, the blue choice, and then why is there a random block on the far right?
Why is there a random block on the far right?
Because you have to determine what color actually opens up that doorway. So you know that green and blue are given.
Okay.
So what are my other options? Maybe it's purple,
Okay.
or it could be yellow.
Okay.
So I have to experiment real quick. So I'm going to try this real quick. Oh, it was yellow.
You got it.
So you have to kind of guess, and now I
Okay.
found a secret pathway that's going to take me to another area.
But then there's no piranha.
Still, no, you still have to get to the end of the level.
Okay.
It's just
that's fair.
just an alternate path.
Okay. Okay.
Now, coffers, this is a coffer here. Coffers tend to give you more experience when you sacrifice them to give you experience.
So what does that mean? Hang on. You lost me.
Yeah, sorry. There's an area called inside the Toad House called Level Up.
Okay.
And you can transfer experience from one character you have to another.
Okay.
Now, the trick is coffers usually run away after 1 turn.
Oh, so you only have 1 turn.
You only have 1 shot to basically blast them. And now here we have a boomerang, bro. But that's another way to get to level up your characters faster as you go through the game.
Okay.
So he's green base, so oh cool, I got a bunch of fire orbs. That's one. Oh, that's one. I forgot the path I wanted.
Oh, you still got the poison to work out.
Yep.
And you got a super orb on the way.
Now it's his turn to attack. And I do have a green super orb, so let's see what's the best way to... Oh, that's almost done with that. Finish one more loop. Yeah. You should change the music too as you're in this different area as well.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Oh, I missed it.
How are you? Oh.
Sometimes I think I have it, and then I make a wrong turn somewhere, and I'm like, whoops. So.
That boomerang didn't make a wrong turn.
Yes, the boomerang did not make a wrong turn.
That's
Still haven't
okay.
cleared that super orb, though. I gotta use that super orb at some point.
No pressure, no pressure.
Yeah, you learn to live with it.
Okay.
So let's go.
Oh, there we go.
That's a bit better.
That's gonna work
Wish I had more
out.
fire, though. That's the one thing I don't have a lot of. He's still surviving because he's against his weakest element is fire, but. And he took me out again.
No.
But I am going to use an extra life. I'm gonna show you PD Piranha. I'm gonna find a way to get to PD Piranha.
This is an obsession.
Now it is. I got the challenge now. I gotta freaking make it happen at some point.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Oh, you got him though. I mean, this is in the bag at this point. How if he survives this?
He just did.
He just did.
I know he's gonna survive it because they're powerful. I warned you, they're pretty powerful in this one now.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good one right there. That should finish him. There we go.
All right.
Now, hopefully, if I remember correctly, I think PD, and I got almost all my skills lined up, which is going to be really good against PD Piranha.
Okay, and we are now
going back down the pipe.
To
PD Piranha.
Boss. Okay, here we go. So you can recruit him for your team. And
if you can capture him.
If you can capture him,
correct.
Yep. And this is all based on random numbers, RNG, as some folks like to call it. So you may get him, you may not.
Yes.
Are there some other sort of boss-style characters like him you can mention, or?
Boss-style characters you'll encounter that are kind of like this.
As you make incredible fire.
Yeah,
attacks.
very effective. I'm going to do a lot of fire attack this guy in a second, and you notice his health bar is a lot higher. You do encounter some other guys, as we mentioned, the Koopalings at the end of each stage.
Mm-hmm.
You do fight Boom Boom, which I have on I had him on my team earlier. He's one of my options. Boom Boom is the other character you fight as well.
Yep.
That's for the most part you'll be fighting. We'll show some other characters when we go to score attack that you will get a chance to possibly encounter.
There's some cool stuff there, so we definitely want to show people that in another video.
But I'm going to go crazy with this one because I'm taking this guy out. So I want to see what patterns I can create.
Okay.
So first, I'm definitely going to use my Big Tantrum, which doubles my whole team for one turn.
Okay.
And I have to make sure I make a very powerful fire attack to make sure this was worthwhile to do. So...
Any other skills you want to switch on?
Do I want to? Sometimes you want to be careful not using too many dark orbs to light orbs. I only have one dark orb on the screen, so there's no point using that one yet.
Okay.
I do. Ooh.
Nullify
no, it has water damage, though. Water damage.
Yeah. And there's some skills for all damage.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to save that. That's what I'm going to use for right now. But I am going to try. Let's see how far I can get this. I'm just debating how best to make that. I want to make sure all my fire orbs get cleared off.
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to debate. So let's do it. Only got one out of that? Did a chunk of damage, but now he's going to attack me. Oof.
Oh.
They're powerful, man.
That was no joke.
Oh, I missed the blue combo I wanted.
Just the last second. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, and he did it
is.
again. He's a tough one. We may have to call it here. I don't know if you're going to deliver on this promise. If you die, we're cutting. we're gonna let it stick. All right. So you got water everywhere.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? No pressure, by the way. I'm only joking. All right. All right.
And again, too, so this is a 5-colored course. The number of combos you can accomplish, it's when you have less colors, it's always easier to make more combos happen. He has this tackle skill, which my Goombas also have, but you just deal direct damage, and it's pretty powerful.
But, folks, you got to see PD Piranha.
Yeah, I got to see
leave it
PD.
at that.
We'll stop there.
We will. Thank you very much, Daniel, for bringing this by. And for more Puzzle & Dragons Z plus Puzzle & Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition coverage, make sure you keep it right here at IGN.